and welcome to the MyWay studio. My name is Richard. I'm a product specialist here at Chevy MyWay, and we have a special program for you today. Now, we're talking in person with some Chevrolet experts who are going to discuss just how great it is living with an electric vehicle. Now, with that, let's welcome Brad Wolf, Chevrolet EV Advertising and Marketing Manager. Brad, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about electric vehicles.
A lot of people know that there's a lot to love about EVs. What are some of the things that people might not know about?
Living with an electric vehicle, I think there's a list of things that make it great, and then there's the experience of living it that is just irreplaceable. And so getting into it and seeing how simple and easy it is to own, how convenient it fits in with your lifestyle, and then how much fun it is to drive are really the three things that I would say have changed what I think about driving.
Now, they're convenient because you can charge whenever you want at home, but what are some other ways when you're not necessarily behind the actual wheel of the Bolt EV or Bolt EUV that they're kind of helping you out there too?
We have a My Chevrolet app. It's part of my phone, which I'm used to using, and what that does is it helps me stay connected even when I'm not. So I can check the state of charge to see how much more time I have or don't have on my vehicle being completely refueled, or I can plan a route. And the best part about it is between the Bolt EUV or Bolt EV and the My Chevrolet app, it does all the hard work for me. So it's looking at the conditions, my driving behaviors, and making all the right decisions to help me maximize my route planning, my charging stops. And then there's even the fun part of, what's around at a charger. So shopping or restaurants, those kind of things.
Wherever you're charging. And what about the warranty as well? We have a pretty great warranty on these things.
So 8-year, 100,000 mile limited battery warranty on the vehicle. So, worry-free experience on that end.
And there's also conveniences like you can use an HOV lane, I understand, in certain places.
Yeah, so not only those conveniences with, if your local HOV lanes have access, but you can also take advantage of other things. So typically the cost of electricity is cheaper than the cost of gas.
Nice.
And not only that, but then I can set my vehicle to take advantage of lower charge rates.
Oh.
So not only is it automatically starting off with an advantage, but I could take full advantage for what it means to me and my electricity.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Brad. We really appreciate it. There really are a lot of benefits to owning the Bolt EV or the Bolt EUV, both expected and unexpected. And now up next, we're going to be discussing the dual level charge cord. Now, joining us to talk about this innovative cord is Jeremy Short, Bolt EV and Bolt EUV Chief Engineer. Jeremy, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we're thrilled to have you with us here in the studio. It's one thing to talk about how easy it is to use the dual level charge cord, and it's quite another to see it in action. So now we're going to head over to our charging station for a quick demonstration on just how flexible this cord is, whether you're talking level 1 charging or level 2 charging. All right, so Jeremy, why don't you first walk us through the level 1 charging setup?
Okay, first I'll plug it in. And as I'm plugging it in, it'll beep. It'll tell us that it's actually charging.
Right, okay. Well, it's nice that it's letting us know. Oh, okay, there we go.
It works. So level 1 charging is our entry level charging. And this is based off 120 volt standard plug that you would see in any building in North America. So what's great about 120 volt charging is that it's everywhere. So you can take this portable charge cord with you and plug in essentially anywhere and get about 4 miles of range on about an hour charge. So if you had a daily commute of say 40 miles, this is a level charging that would work for you. You charge at night and you'd be good to go the next day.
Nice. All right, and we also know that 80% of charging tends to happen at home, and most of that happens at night. So with that in mind, Chevy wants the charging experience to be as easy as possible. So can you walk us through the level 2 charging setup now?
Right, so level 2 charging utilizes 240 volts. So you actually can change the plug that's on our dual level charge cord. You can change that and utilize a 240 volt electrical outlet in your home, which you might not see in your home today.
Right.
It could be behind your electric range.
And what's the speed of the level 2 charging there? So it's a lot faster than the level 1, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it's much faster. So you can take a depleted battery, a completely depleted battery, up to 100%, in about 10 hours.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So easily done overnight.
Yeah, so a lot faster, regardless of what your commute is for that one.
Right? Every day you would leave home with a full charge.
Nice. Well, thanks so much for walking us through these features, Jeremy. And Chevy really is making it easy for people to live the EV life. Now, for our next segment, we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to head outside. We took our show on the road to the General Motors Proving Grounds. That's because we're going to demonstrate some of the advanced technologies that can help you maximize range as you drive, while also maximizing the amount of fun you have while on the road. Now, here to talk about that today is Brandon Bloss, Lead Development Engineer for EVs. All right, well, now that we're parked here in the Bolt EUV, Brandon, thanks so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great. I'm glad we're able to talk.
Well, I'm glad you came out because we're talking to an expert about all this, which is exactly why we're here today. So to start us off, you literally brake every time you're in any car, but here on the Bolt EUV and on the Bolt EV, there's something a little different going on. Can you talk to us about what regenerative braking is?
Yeah, so regenerative braking is a great way to increase your efficiency, make your driving a little bit more fun. And what it allows us to do, as the car is slowing down, we turn the drive motor essentially into a generator. We capture that vehicle energy as it's slowing down and put it back into the main battery so you can use it later when you're driving or cruising down the highway or whatnot.
All right, okay. You are slowing down as if you were like downshifting in a manual transmission.
Yeah, it feels very similar, but instead, this time we're able to capture all that energy, or most of that energy,
Right.
and use it again later.
So it's not actually using your brakes, your real brakes.
Yeah, that's right. It's not using the corner brakes, the friction brakes.
Got
It's
it.
using all done with this generator system.
Oh, cool. Now, what are the ways that we engage that regenerative braking?
One of the main ways we do it is what we call one pedal drive, and you engage that by turning it on by pressing this button in the center console area. And what that, the one pedal driving lets you do is control the vehicle speed with your accelerator pedal. So when you want to accelerate it, you just tip into the accelerator pedal, and when you want to slow down, you lift off and slowly lift off, and it'll start springing the vehicle to a stop.
Now, at any time you wanted to use your actual brakes, you could still do that too, right?
That's right. The normal brake pedal is always there, and actually you're going to want to use the brake pedal if there's like an emergency or a panic stop or the conditions are very slippery.
Got you. Now, what's the second method of using regenerative braking?
So the other method is called our Regen on Demand paddle.
Regen on Demand, okay.
You'll see it up here on the left side of the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And to engage the Regen on Demand paddle, you basically just pull this paddle. And when
Got
you
you.
pull it, you'll request the maximum amount of regen braking available.
So can you use the Regen on Demand paddle while you're in one pedal driving mode?
Yes, that's a great question. So a lot of times when I'm in traffic
Right.
and I'm in one pedal driving mode, and maybe a car in front of me starts to slow down a little bit more than I anticipated, I can reach up and grab the Regen on Demand paddle and get the maximum amount of regenerative braking available.
And that will decelerate you further, right? You'll stop a little faster
a little
too?
quicker, that's right.
Got you. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It was a lot of fun learning about this advanced yet intuitive technology. We're going to head back to the MyWay studio to talk about Chevrolet's plug-in promise. As we've mentioned a few times throughout the show, Chevrolet is all about making EV ownership easy. So easy that it will fit into any different lifestyle. And a big part of that is the plug-in promise. That's what we call your one-stop electric shop to charge ahead with confidence. Now, I'd like to welcome EV Ecosystem Manager Meredith Weber, who's going to fill us in on everything that the plug-in promise has to offer. Meredith, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks, Richard. Happy to be here.
All right. Now, the first aspect of the plug-in promise that I kind of want to dive into here with you is the easy charging aspect. Can you kind of walk us through the steps of that and what it entails?
Absolutely. So the first thing that comes to mind is the installation of a level 2 charging outlet, which is something that Chevy is covering for buyers as well as folks who lease a Bolt EV and a Bolt EUV.
Nice.
The second piece is the dual level charge cord, which comes standard on a Bolt EUV and as an option for a Bolt EV. And the nice thing about that is it enables you to charge either at the standard 120 volts, which is what I use to plug in my hairdryer, or 240 volts, which is similar to what we would plug an appliance into.
Nice.
The third piece is the ability to charge away from home. Maybe you live in an apartment and you can't charge at home. And so through the energy assist feature within the My Chevy app, we provide the ability to view more than 40,000 public charging stations nationwide.
Nice. And that's going up all the time because infrastructure is continually being added, which is really nice as well. All right, now next, do you mind talking to us a little bit about the worry-free experience?
Sure. So the first thing that comes to mind is the 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty that covers the battery. You know, the second piece is courtesy transportation available through your Chevy EV dealer. And then the last piece is roadside assistance, which is available 24/7.
Oh, nice. Those all give you a lot of peace of mind with driving an EV. And you also have the added benefit of Chevrolet's large national dealer network as well. So the last aspect of the plug-in promise here that I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on is the learning support area of it. What sort of resources can people find there?
Yeah, one of the things that we've been really mindful of as we think about how we educate both EV buyers and EV owners is making sure that we are meeting them where they are in their learning journey.
Yeah.
And so we have resources for individuals who like to learn from the comfort of their own home, whether they want to pull up the My Chevy app on their phone. There's also the ability to view a whole suite of videos through our EV Academy. And then the last piece is maybe you're someone who likes a more interactive training experience.
Yeah.
And we're able to do that with Chevy MyWay, whether they'd like to click now and talk to someone, or maybe set up an appointment to talk to someone at a later time. What I love about that is the ability to have a really custom training experience with you and one individual who's just talking to you and helping to explain some of the questions that you may have around your electric vehicle.
Yeah. Well, very cool. There's a ton of resources there to be had. Well, that's all we have time for today. I'd like to thank all of our guests and also thank you for watching. Now, for even more information on Chevrolet electric vehicles, check out the latest EV Academy videos at youtube.com/Chevrolet. And if you would like a live walk around on either the 2022 Bolt EUV or the Bolt EV, don't hesitate to reach out to us here at Chevy MyWay at chevy.com/myway.